Kamlesh from Chess Gaja. Continuing our coverage of the 44th Chess Olympiad, I'm here today with three of the top tactics deployed by Grandmaster R. Praggananandha in the 44th Chess Olympiad. Let's dive straight into it. Right. So this is round 7 of the 44th Chess Olympiad. Uh, Pragga is playing Otis Suarez and Ronaldo, and this is around move 38, also towards the end of the game. So as you can see on the board, both the players um, are not equal materially. Praga is just one pawn up, that is the center pawn which is on d5. So Praga has that extra material in form of one pawn um, against one queen each, and two bishops for Praga and one knight and one bishop uh, for Ortiz. So here, as you can see, the last move that the opponent that white made was queen to c3, and here, as you can see, the engine suggests that pushing the d pawn is the best move here, attacking the queen on c3. However, Praga is like, okay, yeah, I don't care what the engine says, but because what I play is the best, obviously the king is in a check, so you have to do something. Exchanging the queens over here might not be a good idea because, well, you'll see why. Because Praga has some plans with the queen and and the king. Um, but yeah, so the engine suggests that maybe pushing the pawn is the best idea over here. But Praga says, okay, to hell with the engine. We'll go ahead with our own plan, and he puts the excuse me, he puts the bishop in the bit in the middle of the check, thus attacking the queen now and also protecting the check. So okay, what would the opponent do over here? So Ortiz plays queen to c7 check. Now the reason that the engine was suggesting that okay, you should play this over here is that the queen cannot come here and check the king because the bishop would be covering the square. However, Praga doesn't do that. Let's see what happens now. Queen to c7 check, and obviously bishop to f7. It's an easy block of the check. Um, queen to d queen to d7. Just putting up both these pieces on the same diagonal, and bishop to e5 over here. This is the final nail in the coffin that Braga needs to set up for his opponent. Here, the final move that white makes is bishop to g6, thus putting more pressure on this bishop over here. It's pinned, so uh, the bishop is pinned because of the queen on d7, and it cannot really move anywhere, so it cannot capture. And it's attacked twice now and protected only once, so Praga has to worry about that. However, Praga says, okay, I'm not at all worried about that bishop. I'm simply going to check you and just going to end the game over here. So he plays queen to g queen to g3 check, and it was it was in this position that actually uh, Ortiz resigned because there's nothing more to be done over here. It's an inevitable checkmate. It doesn't matter where the king goes. Okay, the king has only two spots, h5 and f5. If the king goes to h5, it's just mate in one. This is queen to h4 is checkmate. The king has no more spots left. Um, However, even if the king goes to f5, the next check that will come is queen to f3 check, and the king has no spots left. The only move to prevent checkmate is just knight to f4. But after queen captures f4, this checkmate again. So yes, this right over here, this is a really bad position, and obviously Ortiz saw that and he resigned right over here without playing the game. Um, However, it was this bishop move over here on move 38 that that the engine says was not that good of a move, but that is what ultimately wins Praga the game. So that's what happens when you play even better than the engine, and yeah, then even the engine cannot predict what you're going to do. Moving on to the second tactic for Pragga that he deployed in the 44th Chess Olympiad. Again, Pragga is playing white over here for change, and his opponent is Durarbali Wasif. This is towards the end game, so a lot has been played over here. As you can see, uh, the bishop by the bishop on f1 is pinned uh, because of the queen on h1 and the rook on the black's rook on e1. And the last move that black played over here was queen to e7. So what does Praga respond with? Praga plays a brilliant queen sacrifice, which is not really sacrifice. It's more of an exchange, but momentarily you might have to lose the queen. Uh, so he plays bishop to d3, thus offering his queen. But what happens what happens if you do take it? So let's see. If he does take, this is rook to e6 opens the discovery check against the black king, and um, obviously the black queen is also dying now, so it's a queen exchange. And after let's say something like king to f4, uh, Praga can simply put his rook, take his rook away from danger, and this is completely winning for white, as this this pawn will simply march on to glory. Uh, the rook cannot come behind the pawn because the bishop cap controls the b1 square, and this is just game over for black. So yes, that's the idea. So after bishop to d3, a brilliant queen sacrifice offered by Praga. Of course, Wasif sees that and he declines the offer. So he goes queen to a3, and now still we can pick up this rook very easily. So that's what Praga does do. Rook to e rook to e6 with a discovery check on the king. King, yeah, the only thing you can really do is just take this bishop. So that's what Wasif does. He takes the bishop on d3 check, and Praga takes the rook on e1. Knight takes, uh, queen takes, and after after queen to e4 check, Praga will pick this pawn up after the king moves. But Praga is okay. I'm in no hurry to kill this pawn. I'll just pick up other pawns as well. So queen to g6 check, and this is the position where Durarbali Wasif resigned, because after he moves his king anywhere, this pawn is dying, and it's just a matter of time before this pawn also dies after a couple of coordinate checks. Maybe this yeah. So whenever the Prague has like four pawns against zero pawns um by for Wasif, and you know maybe Praga can also play something like queen to Praga can also force a queen exchange, um and just march all the four pawns of his to glory and win the game. So yes, that's the idea. Um, Thus, after queen to g6, Vasif just resigns, and Praga wins another brilliant game. That offered sacrifice over here of the queen, that was a very brilliant tactic that Praga employed. Moving on to the third and the last tactic of the day that Praga employed in the 10th round of the 44th Chess Olympiad. It's Praga playing white pieces against Sindarao Chowkir playing the black pieces. Um, all right, so the last move that White played, that the Praga played, was Bishop to E5. Here you can see that the pawn on A2 is attacked twice and defended just once. So Sundarao says, "Okay, I will take that." So after Rook takes on A2, Rook takes A2, Bishop takes on A2. There is a one brilliant move that Praga can play. Um, if you guys can figure it out, go ahead and try. But what the move is that this bishop is this bishop can easily be trapped now. This is similar to what in 1972 World Chess Championship, what happened in one of the earlier games where um, Bobby Fischer took the poison pawn. This is similar to that, but not quite. We'll see what happens. First of all, before trapping the bishop like this, Pragga says, okay, let's go for a series of an exchange. So he takes the knight on f6, bishop takes on f6, and now b3. This is just amazing for Pragga as this bishop is dying. It cannot be protected. Okay, yeah, maybe you can try something like rook to uh, a8, but and the rook cannot really come here because the bishop protects the covers the square on a1. However, what you can do in this situation is just uh, push your pawn on uh, push your pawn e5. The bishop cannot really take it because sorry, the bishop cannot really take it because knight protects it, and you no longer control the a1 square, so the rook will march right in, and there's not really yeah. If you just play something like this, then this bishop is dying. Yeah, it's not. There are no good moves over here that can be played. Um, Sinero does go for queen to a5 immediately, but now Praga says, okay, I'll just take pawns and after you try to do pull something else off, I just eat up this pawn. The rook is also hanging, so Sindra has a lot to worry about. Obviously, protects the rook, and now queen to c8 check, king to g7, and queen back to c2, rebuilding the pressure on the bishop. You can rest assured that something something like I don't know, yeah, d knight to d4 is coming next, and you will lose this bishop ultimately. And yes, so the game goes on. Praga has a really good position over here. Um, he does have material advantage as well as he's up positionally. And obviously from from here on, Praga goes on to win the game. Not immediately, but after a few moves on game goes on for 77 moves. Um, this is simply the 29th move. But yes, so Praga laid the foundation of the game in the middle. Praga dominated the middle game over here, and that just ultimately leads to him winning the game. So those were the three tactics employed by Grandmaster R. Praggananandha in the 44th Chess Olympiad. I hope you guys understood the video. I hope you guys understood the tactics. Thank you very much for watching the video. That's all from my side. Thank you.